Hello Pisces, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the general energies for the sign of Pisces. This will be a bonus reading for the month of May. If you're here, if you clicked on this video, there's likely to be a message for you. With that said, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Pisces, let's go ahead and see what's coming forward for you here in this bonus May reading. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you, Pisces. We'll go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into this reading for you. Okay. Okay. Yep, I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom. Wow, you have the Judgment card. I believe you're one of, if not the only, signs to get this Judgment card. You can kind of see the phoenix here rising from the ashes, you could say, so to speak. This illustration is interesting for the Judgment card. The idea is that these people are having an epiphany. Okay, the people here are having an epiphany. Usually they'll be coming out of coffins in a traditional, like, let's say, Rider-Waite card, Rider-Waite deck. And the idea is that they are realizing their judgment. Okay, they're learning their judgment. They're learning the results of all of the actions that they've taken. And as a result, they are having an epiphany. They're having a realization around something. So when you get the Judgment card, it can be a very awakening energy that's present in your life, right? This, I oftentimes say, is sort of like the final boss of the major arcana, of the tarot, really, because beyond the Judgment card is just the world, and the world is the completion. And so it may feel like you are kind of like right now in this period of one more push, or you're sort of at the precipice. You're like right at the finish line on something. When you get the Judgment card, but it's a deeper thing, right? It's a deeper thing. The Judgment card's a very, very deep card, okay? And I would not be surprised if some of you are having epiphanies at this time. Taking a look here, you only have one other major arcana present on the initial 9 cards that I've pulled. We always go through and clarify with more tarot cards, but I feel like right now there's an opportunity for growth for Pisces people here, who are here in this reading. I feel like there's a major opportunity for growth, and you may come to an awakening or an enlightening around this concept at this time. Like, you almost feel like something could go bigger. Like, you could go bigger with something. There's a new beginning here for sure. This is definitely not a time of ending. This is a time of starting for you. For sure. Looking at this reading, let's dive in. In the middle card here, you do have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is about expansion and growth. Okay, the Three of Wands person builds on the potential of the Two of Wands, and they're now expanding and growing into that potential. They're looking out and they're seeing like everything in front of them. And there are limitless amounts of possibilities that they can go. But they're really about to set foot on their journey here now that they've realized some potential. So growth, expansion, this can represent partnerships and alliances. It can represent travel. You do have a travel timeline here showing up with the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands for some of you. But my feeling is sort of like the Three of Wands is like, let's go bigger. Okay, let's go bigger. Let's take something to the next level. Let's grow, expand into something. And this may feel like at this period of time, as you think about this item that you want to go bigger around, whether this is in a relationship or work, whatever it is, this may feel like really different. Okay, if you've ever had an epiphany, it may feel like, why have I never connected to this? Or feels new. You know, this feels new, and I almost feel like a blank slate for some of you here. double aces. And it feels like, yeah, it's a really nice energy. But first, let's go ahead and let's get into this first column. You have the Ace of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So there are actually quite a bit of cups here on the board here. We have 4 cups that I'm seeing, as well as some wands. Okay, so cups can connect to relationships, the heart space, emotions, dreams, intuition, all of these sorts of things. I should say, like, the Ace of Swords is another card of epiphanies as well, and breakthroughs. So you actually have 2 breakthrough cards, Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands, but in particular, these cards can also connect to the idea of an awakening or an epiphany around something, Pisces. It's not immediately clear to me what this thing is. Like, usually when I get a reading, it'll be like, okay, this is a business reading, this is a career reading, or this is a love reading. This is why we clarify, but there is some fresh energy in your scenario at this time, okay? Ace of Swords is about success as well. So you may really connect to this idea of a new beginning, and you may realize the potential of how successful this could be for you. There was something in the past year that was bogging you down with the Five of Cups. All right, you can actually see that this can be a card of like thinking about romantic scenarios. You can see the love locket here that they're holding. Kind of grieving type of energy. You know, this is a card of grieving and processing through that. You then also here have the Four of Cups, which can indicate boredom and apathy. The thing is, you're done with that, okay? You're absolutely done with that. If you've had a period of stagnation, if you've had a period of time where there's been no action, or you haven't been moving on something, you are done with that, okay? So I think perhaps in the past year, you've had this sort of like I'm feeling like I need to snap. Like, you've sort of like, the light has turned on. You've turned on the light switch. Okay, you flipped the light switch here. Okay, you flipped the light switch with this Ace of Swords, and you're like, okay, like, yeah, I could stay in this Five of Cups, Four of Cups energy if I want to. Like, I really could. I could stay here. Maybe it feels comfortable. Maybe it feels uncomfortable. But like, I could stay here if I wanted to. But you're done with that. Okay, you're done with that. Whether this is in a relationship or another area here, something that you may have lost with the Five of Cups, it may feel emotional. Could be an emotional loss. Something like this, you've decided that no more. You're done with this. So let's expand on this. You have the Eight of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Ace of Cups here. Okay, I love the energy of the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands. I love the energy of the Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands, and the Judgment card. Okay, the Judgment card, let me also say that, if I already haven't said this, yes, it's about an epiphany. Yes, it's about realization. But it represents our karma in life. Okay, so our karma is just you can think of karma as like a bank. And we're always crediting and debiting. And the way that you build karma, or you pay off karma, debit or credit, is by taking actions. Okay, so really the Judgment card is like the realization of the actions that we've taken up to this point. And I think what happened here is with the Five of Cups and the Four of Cups, you've realized that, okay, you're in this place, you're in this space now, and X, Y, and Z led me to this space. But I'm not going to allow this to linger, right? I'm taking this other healthy, positive action to pay off the way I feel now. You could think of it that way, okay? And you feel inspired at this moment as you push forward. I think for those of you who are here for love, I think that you're probably single, and there's something that feels new to you here with the Ace of Cups. I would try to detach from that. Like, the message for you would be, if you are looking, like if you're single and you're looking for love, detach from the idea of being in a relationship, because as you build attachment to this idea of being in a relationship, it's less likely that you will be in a relationship. Okay, so the idea is that you detach from this, and the way that you, in this case, detach is with this Three of Wands. there's something that feels adventurous in your life. There's something that feels exciting, right? As you investigate this, whether this is like some backpacking, like maybe you want to go to, Europe or Southeast Asia or whatever it may be, or you want to take a trip, or there's some business idea here or some career idea that you want to grow and expand into. As you focus your energy on that, you are detaching from this idea of needing to be in a relationship. And as you detach, as you move into the things that are interesting to you, the right relationship situation simply comes in. That's it. That's it. And by the way, you can apply this to another area of your life. So if you're happily in a relationship, let's say you're married or you're good in your relationship, and there's something else that you're attached to, right? Like, okay, I want to buy a home. And it's like, okay, you just always are you're attached to this idea of buying a home. Focus on these things that are exciting you first. As you remove the attachment, the thing that you want so bad will be more likely to appear. Strong message for you that I feel inspired to tell you. In the final column, you have the Hanged Man, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. Pisces. So, Hanged Man. Well, what I will say is, this person, I've never really looked at the Hanged Man like this, but this person's really detached, even though they are attached to the tree. In fact, they're not really doing anything, okay? They are gaining enlightenment, right? And they're kind of just focused on what is in front of them. And I feel like, obviously, it's even represented here in this, like, they're wearing a monk's robe, right? And, like, monks, depending on the discipline, but almost every discipline is all about practicing detachment or creating an ability to detach. This is important. Like, there are some times when I see the Hanged Man, I'm like, okay, you're in limbo, whatever. I do think that you're moving out of limbo here by investigating this interest. And I said, like, you're done with this old energy, right? So I think that this is happening, but I also think that for some of you, this Hanged Man is about detachment and separating from this, like, idea that something has to happen at a right, like, on a specific timeline. Like something has to happen by XYZ, or, oh, it's already been this long and it's still not here, right? Something like this is showing up. You then have the Seven of Cups, which can represent, like, being a little bit overwhelmed by the path in front of you. The good thing about the Seven of Cups is you have so many options in front of you. You have choice, which is great. And then you also here have the Eight of Swords, which can represent this feeling of being a little bit trapped. I'm pushing through this because I'm very, very curious in this case to see what the clarifications are for you. So why don't we go ahead and move on with the clarifications, Pisces. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards here from the Psychic Tarot. This is actually an oracle deck based on the tarot cards, and this is my first ever deck. It was very big. It was instrumental in me learning how to read cards. So let's pull some of these for you. We'll take that one. Okay. Energy on the bottom. You have Love Begins. Wow, so that is the Ace of Cups. Okay, great. So you have the Ace of Cups twice. Strongly I feel that as you do the thing you're very passionate about and interested in, love will begin for you. Okay, I strongly feel that. So, by the way, for those of you traveling, you may actually quite literally meet somebody traveling with the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands. But if you're not, it's about what is this thing that's really kind of lighting your world up at this time? Like, what is the thing that you're really, really excited and passionate about? Okay, wow, you have two chakra cards here. You have the solar plexus chakra as well as the crown chakra, okay? So to break this down here, the crown is above your head, and the crown is where we receive spiritual information. Okay, so when you're in meditation or we have a spiritual experience, the information comes in through the crown. It's like the receiving center. Okay? It's processed by the third eye. We'll see if you have the third eye as well. But moving down, the solar plexus, this can represent your power, okay? Your confidence, your security or your insecurities. And this is right at the abdomen. So a good way to work on the crown is by grounding yourself, Okay, people who are ungrounded may have some stuck energy in the crown. And then to work through the solar plexus chakra, truthfully, the best way to work through any blockages there is to do some physical exercise. Yoga also is very, very helpful for that. So this could just be like walking, quite literally walking. Going out in nature is very good for that. And maybe even doing some chanting could be very helpful. Okay, so wow, you actually have the most chakra cards pulled out of any of the, you're my last reading. So you have the throat chakra, that's below, that's at the throat, that's below the third eye. And then you have moving on, which is the Six of Swords. Look, when you feel like you need to say something to someone, but you can't say it, it may mean that there's like a blockage or some communication stuff going on in the throat chakra. I do think that there's a clear direction here of you moving on from something. I said that before with the Five of Cups and the Four of Cups. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, you have the final three cards here. You have movement, choices, and decisions. Two of Wands. You have, sorry, Two of Pentacles. You have suffering and silence, as well as fertility. That is the Empress. Okay. Yeah, it's the end of that. You're done suffering in silence. I think you fully processed, or you're in the process of fully processing this challenging situation here in the past. Let's go ahead and let's move into the clarifying the original 9 cards here and see what comes forward for you. Let's see what we have. Do hope you're doing well, Pisces. Hope things are going good for you once again, and I do appreciate you spending your time with me. Thank you so much for being here. All right, you have the Seven of Cups showing up again. You have the Ten of Swords. Wow. And the Empress. So you actually have the fertility card here. That is the Empress. And then you have the Empress here again. Okay, so there's a couple things here. The Five of Cups, Ten of Swords, like this feeling, this heartbreak, this is done. Like it's completely, it's like the final nail in the coffin, so to speak. The cards are saying that this Five of Cups energy can't move forward with you. Okay? So maybe there is value here. Empress can represent value or resources or abundance in this downtime that you've had with the Four of Cups, the Hanged Man. Like maybe there is value in taking time to work through this, because what's clear is that this energy can't move forward with you. It just can't. So that's a strong message from the cards for you at this time. Seven of Cups, you have so many choices here as you, with the Ace of Swords, this breakthrough, this new beginning, this start of the fresh energy. It's exciting because you see how many different directions you could be going, but one of those directions does not include this Five of Cups energy. Okay, remember I talked about this emotional loss, this just feeling maybe even a little depressed, or remember I'm not a mental health therapist, so I can't diagnose or anything like that, but it's sort of like you were stuck, right? That can't move forward with you. You have the King of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles, and you have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody who is a trusted person in your life, okay? When you talk to a Queen of Pentacles person, the information that they are giving you can be trusted, okay? They're not a gossiper, in other words, right? So you can feel safe with this person. And I feel like there could be something new starting for you there in that area with another person. But again, this person arrives, if they're not already in your life, this person arrives through investigating this Three of Wands, this adventure that you feel called on, this call to adventure in your life at this time. Can you feel comfortable with being uncomfortable is my question, because the Two of Pentacles is discomfort. Okay, you see the sea in the background moving up and down, the ripples, right, moving up and down, the pentacles going up, going down. This represents instability or discomfort. to be on this adventure that you feel like you want to be on, you may want to learn to be comfortable with discomfort or with being uncomfortable, I think is a message here. You have the King of Cups. I have a feeling that like there could be a nice person arriving for you, again, as you investigate the things that are exciting for you. You have the Queen of Swords once again, Death card, and the King of Wands. Wow. So many people here showing up in the clarifications. Very interesting. This death card represents a transformation in the tarot. It's a change. Okay, it's a change. So basically, the message for you with this death card and the Seven of Cups twice is like, you can either choose or you can allow the universe to choose for you. Okay? You can choose or you can... It's better to choose, but neither option is wrong. But it's like, sort of like, if you don't decide on one of these cups here, as you look at the Seven of Cups, the universe will choose one for you. That's the death card, plainly, in this instance, right? The transformation will just happen. So you can embrace it or not. It's up to you. Neither is wrong. But there's a choice here that needs to be made. King of Wands, Eight of Swords, you know, King of Wands is a you know, this is somebody who lives an adventurous life. And this is the energy that's coming forward for you in this reading to bring on, to take in or to bring on into your life. And as it's with the Eight of Swords, it's almost like you feel a little bit hesitant in taking on this adventure. So this is something that's showing up. You do have the Tower here as well. Judgment Tower is probably the most powerful combination, or one of the most powerful combinations in my experience. It can be a spiritual enlightenment, a very strong epiphany that you don't see coming. So why don't we go ahead and let's take a look at the Kipper energy here and see what is in the Kipper cards for you. All right, we'll go ahead and split the deck here. Okay, you have Distant Horizons, Concern, Family Room, Mature Man, Unexpected Income, and Courtship. Well, that's definitely a nice combination to find here. I'm trying to see how this fits into some of these. Usually the cards really, really support each other. What I would say is, like, I think for some of you there may be a temporary return to home, okay, with Courtship and Family Room, like the homeland, okay, the motherland, so to speak. This may be just on the horizon for you, just heads up. Not everybody, but I think some of you, this may be on the horizon for you. The thing is, I think some of you here, notice how this is unexpected, right? This idea of removing attachments to an expectation or just detaching is very important, because if you're looking for a wealthy partnership, let's say a healthy partnership here, as you have the wealthy man, this arrives as you let go of the attachment, right? Like, I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it needs to be said. You then have Distant Horizons. The future is bright for you. This could be a 1 to 3 month thing. This may take 1 to 3 months to sort of appear, but the future is extremely bright for you, Pisces. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.